Hi, Mini Tigers. It's me, Mrs. Brown. And today we are going to delve and dive into a really cool topic about your brains. This is one of several presentations we'll have on your brain this year. All right, let's go. Before we begin, I'm going to share a video with you. It's probably one of my favorite ones regarding the topic for today. So the topic today is about our brains, but some very specific parts of our brains. So let's watch this and listen to some of the specific things she shares about our brain.
Hold your hand up like this, fold your thumb in, close your fingers down. This is a model of your brain. So the eyes, if there's a head here, they'd be looking out the front this way. This is the outside of that brain, that wrinkly part you see when you see a brain. And at the very front, right behind your forehead here, the smart part, the prefrontal cortex. It makes the decisions. Now, inside, you can't see it, but we're going to open it up like this, and we're going to see the thumb area and down here in the palm. These two areas work together. The limbic system, the emotions, the feelings part. When you feel scared, when you're really angry, when you're out of control and you're upset, you can't think straight. And here, the brain stem keeps your heart beating and your lungs breathing, and it makes you move your hand away from a hot stove really quickly. These two areas working together saves your life from a tiger. It sends out a warning signal, danger, danger, and our heart beats. We breathe fast and shallow. Our muscles tense so that we can run or we can fight and save our lives, which is very handy if a tiger is chasing you. Not so handy if you're sitting in a classroom. Now what happens? The alarm will go off, and they're false alarms. You know, false alarms in the school when the fire alarm goes off and there was no fire and we all have to leave the building anyway? Well, that's what happens here. Somebody might criticize you, or your teacher tells you to sit down and please do your work, and you get all upset. That's not a real alarm. You're not really in danger. Yet, the alarm is set and you flip your lid. You lose the smart part. And this part is now in control. What can you do to get this smart part back? Start breathing slow, in through your nose, out through your nose, way down into your belly. Let your shoulders go. Relax, relax. Relax your body and breathe. This will trick this part. Look what's happening. The smart part. You get your smart part back. Because whatever got you upset, most of the time, is a false alarm.
Wow. I forget how powerful that video is. I appreciate her talking about how right now you can even see right here how she's touching this thumb. We're going to kind of talk a little bit more about this hand model of our brain. I really appreciate her words around how those big feet, this part's the big feeling part, and how when that is in control instead of our prefrontal cortex or our wise part, that we can do things to help calm it down. Hand model. So when we are calm, picture our brain like this when we are calm. And our prefrontal cortex, the wise leader, is right here and working. And then remember, she used the term in the video, flip your lid. So let's go here for a second. So the prefrontal cortex, the wise leader, is the part of your brain that helps you learn and make good choices. It's right behind your forehead, okay? The part of your brain that helps you feel all the feelings is called the amygdala. And see the thumb right there? This is part of what's the limbic system. She calls it the limbic system in there, but that's your amygdala, the big emotions of anger and fear and anxiety. The amygdala is the alarm center and it acts on instinct, fight, flight, or freeze. All of our feelings are okay, but sometimes our feelings can get too big and we need to calm down our amygdala. And lastly, the part of your brain that is fight, flight, or freeze is the brain stem. So it's the part at the very base of our heads here. Some call it kind of like the reptilian or mammalian brain, where it's what we do when we really just are focused on when it's fight, flight, or freeze is really focused on survival. So that's the part of our brain that's focused on survival. I have another lesson called The Animals Inside Me, and I'm not going to go into it, but I want to refer to it here. We learned in that lesson about our body having these three animals, a meerkat, a tiger, and owl living inside. All three are present all the time. They're part of every day. My day, your day. I have these three animals. You have these three animals. The meerkat is a watch guard. I even have a lovely little prop here. Meerkat is a watch guard, and it's just looking out, and also is feeling a lot of the feelings, the big feelings, the small feelings. Okay. The tiger is ready to fight. Let's see here if you can see the fight or run, but really loves to play. It prefers to play. And our owl is a very good decision maker and learner when it's allowed to stay and learn and doesn't need to fly away because it's scared. So back to the term flipping your lid, which the woman in the video had shared, I want you to think about our hand model of our brain. And remember, this is our calm brain right here. And our brain and our wise self right here is thinking and working and all that good stuff. And then we have the flip your lid, where your thinking brain flips and leaves, so the owl flies away because it's scared. The big feelings that the amygdala is recognizing, or a meerkat is recognizing, has caused the owl to fly away. And because they're big feelings, we now have a tiger here. We also have now the fight, flight, or freeze response is going to happen when we're here. So you lose access to your prefrontal cortex, your thinking brain. Your amygdala activates the fight, flight, or freeze response, and you operate from a place of fear. Whereas here, you see, all the parts of your brain are working in harmony and you feel calm, balanced, alert, and yet relaxed at the same time. So our goal is as much of this, of our brain feeling and behaving like this, and as little of this, but it's still going to happen and it's okay. Another way of looking at it, because I like to offer a variety of ways of looking at it, is upstairs and downstairs. So our upstairs brain has thinking, body control, empathy, and play. And our amygdala is the one our meerkat is the one who's deciding when something is happening around us, again, sights, smells, even sounds. It decides what message it's going to give the rest of the brain. So it may give the message that everything's really cool. And we're in our upstairs brain, and we are like owl. We are thinking, we have empathy, we have compassion, we have body control, and we even more a playful mood as a tiger. And sometimes the message could be more of in the worry, fear, or scared. And therefore, we're going to be more in our downstairs brain, which is really fight, flight, and freeze. I'll add that in there. And breathing is also here, because that's the one trick that can get us back up to here, is some deep breathing. That's one of the big tricks, okay? It's good for us to see it in a variety of ways. So remember, back up here. Oh, let's go back for a second. And this is one way to looking at it. And this is another way of looking at it, our upstairs and downstairs brain, okay? All right, let's go move on. So how do we get our smart part back? So when our prefrontal cortex flies away because our amygdala has given some messages that either it's scary or whatever, our thinking brain has flown away. How do we get our smart part back? How do we get our smart part back when our thinking brain has flown away? How do we get our smart part back? And all of us have this. All of us have this. All of us have an amygdala. All of us have a tiger that loves to play and also will fight if need be. and run if need be. We all have all of these. So how do we get our smart part back when our owl is flown away? Well, there's an easy way to settle our amygdala. There's a very easy way to settle it. And that is when we are very upset, we can take some deep, slow breaths like she spoke of in the video. When we breathe in and breathe out slowly, our amygdala will settle down and we'll feel much better. And in here is some examples of I have a ball breathing exercise here for you, but I think I'm going to skip playing it fully because I wanted you to see it. And it is it's one of the exercises that is in my on my student portal and teacher portal. So, but let's move on to the last slide, shall we? So in closing, with my little brain, my big brain here, in closing, I can't control anyone else, but I can control, and these things are the things that are going to keep us in our thinking brain mode. We will stay like this if we work at controlling our thoughts, our words, our choices, our actions, our reactions when something happens around us, how we react. And then parts of our future are determined by these choices by us. So when we're in our thinking brain, we make some excellent choices here. And when we're not in our thinking brain, because our amygdala has found something to be scary or troublesome or worrisome, then we can do some deep breathing to kind of to pull ourselves back in there. But I want to say this, you must take care of that brain, that beautiful brain. Why? Because your brain makes you you. And we deeply appreciate you, uniquely you, what you have to offer this school, what you have to offer your family, what you have to offer this community. And your brain is part of what makes you uniquely you. So that's why we got to take such good care of it. One thing I want to share is that I do have a follow-up activity that I will make sure to put on my student portal. Calm or stressed. It's just a simple Google slide drag and drop activity for you if you'd like to do that. And another lesson that I will have is in the future is a self-care for kids. And it'll be a short lesson with some ideas around how you can create your own self-care plan, because we all need that. We need to take care of our whole bodies, not just our brains. Our brains are important, but we need to take care of our whole bodies and our whole selves. So until next time, mini tigers, I deeply appreciate you. I care about your feelings. I love learning about our awesome brains and about how we can flip it, but what we can do to bring it back down into our smart zone. So until next time, mini tigers.